Hi, Julie here, and today I'm going to share with you my process of making a folio using Denise Bodie papers. I'm making this folio for a RAK. I'm in a group on Facebook and I've added my name to the RAK list for this month, so I thought I would get busy and make something to send out. So to make the actual folio, I'm going to use one sheet of 12 by 12 paper, and it's from the Daydream Storybook paper range, and it's called Our Story. So first of all, we're going to score it at 6 inches. Now this would be in the middle of your page, so the top of the page is to my right and the bottom of the page is to the left. Then I'm going to rotate it once and score at 3 inches, 6 inches and 9 inches. So now I'm going to fold it on that 6-inch score line, and then I'm going to turn it sideways and fold like concertina fold the other creases that we've put in there. So mountain, valley, mountain. So now hold your paper so that you have an open flap to your right. Open that flap and then cut all of the layers on that centre fold up to that first fold. So now we're going to fold it over in halves again, and then we're going to concertina fold it. I will put a freeze shot in a minute and it will show you exactly how this is folded. So now that we've got our little folio folded, we can work our way through and we can see where the pockets fall. Now the first pocket that I'm going to make is a top loading pocket. So I'm going to use my circle punch to put a little divot in there. The second one, which is page 2, is having a side loading pocket. So another little divot into that. And then the third one, once again, I'm going to make into a top folding pocket. Now I'm going to make a cover for my folio. I'm going to use this piece of pattern paper. I can't remember the name of it now, but I will link them in the description box below. I'm going to cut that to 6 inches high. Then I'm going to wrap that around my folio and add about 1.5 inches because I'm going to, well, I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to wrap that around to make a front closure or whether I'm going to use it as a pocket on the inside of the back cover. But I'm making my paper about 1.5 inches longer than I need to create the cover. Now I'm going to close up my pocket, so I'm going to use my art glitter glue to do this. So the first pocket, we'll just put a little bead of glue along the bottom and that will close that pocket up, because when we put our cover on, that will close up the side. If you wanted to, you could put a little bead of glue down the side there as well. I didn't, and I sort of had second thoughts about whether I should have or not. But anyway, I haven't, and then that's the way it's going to stay. So the second pocket, I'm just going to once again run a bead of glue along the bottom, because this one's going to be a side opening pocket. I put the glue in and then I give it a good wipe with my bone folder to make sure that I've got a good connection and all of my creases are nice and firm. And the third pocket, once again, is a top opening pocket, so I'm just going to run a little bit of glue along the bottom and seal that up. Now I'm going to use my black Versacolour ink cube to ink around all of my pages. It's probably easier to do this now than after we've got our cover on it, that's why I'm doing it. If you prefer to use like a blending tool and your archival ink or whatever, now's the time to do that as well. Well, some people don't do any inking at all. I'm an inker. I like the look that gives. But if you like a more clean look, well then you probably won't ink. Now I'm going to attach my cover. I'm going to use my art glitter glue, apply a good coat of that to the front of my folio, and then line it up with the edges of my cover and stick it on. Once I've got that nicely secured, I'm going to fold the cover around my folio and just get an idea of where the cover of the folio can fold back in. Once I've got that, I'm going to use my ruler so that I get a nice straight fold and fold that overhang back in towards the folio. Now that I've got my folds in the right place, I'm going to use my glue to attach the back cover to the outside cover, or the back page, I guess, of the folio to the cover. I'm going to do that the same way as I did the front one. Just apply the liquid glue and then smooth it down nicely and run over it with my bone folder to make sure I get a good attachment. I didn't get mine perfectly straight, so I'm just going to use my long bladed scissors to trim that little bit off. So now I'm just going to flip through my little folio and think about where I want that outside flap to be, whether I want it to come around and be a closure for my folio or whether I want to stick it down on the inside and turn it into a pocket. I end up deciding that I will have it come round to the front as a closure for my folio. I'm going to create some pockets on the inside of my folio. So I've cut a strip of the same paper that I used on the cover, and I've cut it 1.5 inches wide and then in halves at 6 inches. Now I'm just trimming it down so it's the exact size of my folio. I'm going to put a little divot in the centre of each of those, and then I'm going to run a bead of glue along 3 sides, so top, bottom and one of the edges, and attach them to the front inside cover and the back inside cover of the folio. So now I'm going to work out how I'm going to keep my folio closed, and I decided to use a paper clip. So I'm going to decorate my paper clip a little. I have a piece of that same paper that I just used to make my pockets. I have a leftover piece of that, so I'm going to use that. It's 1.5 inches wide. I'm going to trim it down to 3 inches, and then I'm going to fold it in halves, cut a fishtail end in both ends. I'm going to do them both at once, and then slip that over my paper clip, and then use my liquid glue to attach the 2 pieces together so that it won't come off of the paper clip. As it worked out, I ended up putting too much in this little folio, and the paper clip, although I stuck with it, didn't really have enough width to it. You could use Velcro dots or magnets or a belly band or whatever you like to close this. If you're not putting as much in it as I put in it, well then this paperclip idea would work fine. I will decorate this paperclip a little bit too before I've finished. Now I want to make some little pockets to go inside of those pockets that we've already made in the folio. I'm going to be putting small items in there, and I wanted a way that somebody could pull the items out without having to tip the whole folio upside down and have them come out of every pocket. So I've cut some papers 5.5 inches by 6.5 inches, and I'm going to score on the 5.5 inch edge at 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to fold that under so that it brings it down to 5 inches, and then I'm going to score at the 2.5 inch mark. So the 1/2 inch is where I'm going to fold under to attach the 2 edges of the envelope, and then the 2.5 inch fold is where I'm going to fold it in halves. I will also go back and fold it, score it 1/2 inch from the bottom to make that much easier to fold up. So now I'm going to trim some of those sections away. So firstly I'm going to trim that corner piece out. There's a little 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch corner there. I'm just going to cut them off on an angle so that that is not so bulky. And then the outside edge, or the part that hasn't got the 1/2 inch fold in it, so the right hand edge, I'm going to trim that bottom piece off as well. And I'm going to angle that off into the section that's staying, and then trim the rest of that off. Once again, that's going to make it much easier and less bulky to fold my little envelope over. I'm then going to use my art glitter glue to add the glue to those folded in pieces, and then fold the other flap over on top of the glue. Once again, I'll use my bone folder to make sure my folds are nice and crisp, and also to make sure that my glue is gripping nicely. I use my ink cube and ink around the edge of my little envelope, and I also just use my ruler to run around the inside and make sure that there's no glue that's going to glue my envelope closed. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the second piece of paper that I cut, and now I have 2 little envelope type things in both of my top loading pockets. This will make it much easier to pull anything out of those pockets. So this is what we have so far. We have a little pocket on the inside front cover, and then we have our top loading pocket with a envelope or pocket insert. Our second pocket is a side loading pocket, and our third pocket is the same as our first, with a little envelope inside of it ready for loading, and the back inside cover has the side pocket. Now I'm going to decorate that little paper clip. I've got an assortment of die cut pieces. This is a vellum die cut leaf, and I have also die cut some small flowers using the same paper range, and I'm going to just add 1 leaf and 1 little flower on top of this paper clip. And now I'm going to just fossick through all of those fussy cut elements and find something to decorate the front of the folio and the inside pages of the folio. Now I'm sticking with mostly flat embellishments here because my folio is already too fat, and by the time I add some little embellishments and things as part of the giveaway, my paper clip is not going to work very well. But anyway, so yes, everything that I put inside of the folio as in the way of embellishments is going to be a piece of fussy cut paper, and just I'll ink around the edge of each of them and then use my glue to attach them to the page. I'll put this on fast forward, you don't need to watch me do this in detail. To decorate the front of my folio, I'm going to use a fussy cut set of leaves and a nice little lace motif, and then a die cut flower on top of that. I'm going to keep them to the left hand side of my folio front so that they don't interfere with my closing flap. Okay, so now I have added the elements that I want to give to this person. I'm going to include some clear stickers. These are Kaiser Craft stickers and they're clear, and when you add them to your project they're mostly happy birthdays and things like that. So they will be a nice addition to a card. In this first pocket I have added some, what do you call them, collectibles, some die cut flowers, and I've also added a few chipboard butterflies. As we're going through this process, you'll also be able to see how I have decorated the pages. In the centre pocket, I'm adding an assortment of things. I've got some tags, some small tags that can be used on cards. I have also got some stickers and also a few, I think they call them fishtail tags. So just a few little bits and pieces in that centre pocket. So in my third pocket I'm going to, well, I have added some acetate flowers. These are stickers, so you don't have to worry about where you're going to put the glue or anything like that. So I've just put an assortment in there. I've got quite a few in there. I'm sure that whoever I send this to will have plenty to choose from. And for the back pocket, I'm going to add some die cut leaves. Now, I created these leaves using alcohol inks on acetate, and then I've used a die to cut them up. So that is what I will be including in my little folio when I send this off to one of the people on the RAK list. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me put this little folio together. I saw it on YouTube and I thought it was a nice, quick, easy little project and a very lovely little thing to send off to somebody as a RAK that just holds a few little embellishments. I will add some other things to the envelope, of course. It won't be just this, but yeah, I thought this was a nice little thing for someone to receive in the post. So, thank you for watching my video and I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Bye.